Hello learners, I am Madhuri Huda from Department of Education, Maharshi Danu University, Rohtak. With the greetings of the day, let us start our next topic, historical research. Under this main topic, we will discuss meaning of historical research, importance of historical research in education, steps in conduction of historical research and various types of historical research. Learning objective of this module will be, the learners will be able to understand the meaning of historical research. They will be able to understand the importance of historical research. They will be able to know and explain various types of historical research. And further, they will be able to explain various steps in historical research. Let us discuss our topic, historical research, in detail. First of all, let us see what history is. History is meaningful record of past events, which is not only limited to the list of events arranged chronologically, but a whole picture of social, economical, cultural and political forces which operated simultaneously and resulted in generating historical events. Historical research aims to explore facts related to the past events in order to arrive at conclusions related to the present. This generally involves interpretation of these events and study of their effect on present circumstances. It also helps in predicting what might happen in future. It also gives better understanding of present conditions with deep perspective. In this way, the future events are also predicted and controlled to some extent. In conduction of historical research, some problems are faced by the researchers. Like in historical research, there is no control on both the treatment and measurement of data. Very poor control on sampling and no opportunity for application of the study. Because historical research is not based on experimental methods which can be replicated, rather based on reports of the observation and which cannot be repeated. Moreover, the exact date of occurrence of historical research is difficult to determine because of unavailability of the complete information and because of change in system of the calendar. Now let us discuss how the historical research is important in education. In the field of education, in order to have better understanding of the present education system and the prediction of trends related to future events, historical research is important. Second is, we can say in the professional training of teachers, the history of educational institutions need to be a compulsory part. For educational reforms, detection of fads and frills is necessary, which can only be detected by conducting the historical research in education. Study of origin and growth of educational problems always leads to better understanding of the educational process. And the next point is, the educational system is influenced by many prejudices and biases. Study of historical aspects of education from research point of view act as a sovereign solvent for these prejudices. Next point, we can say, only by studying the history of education, one can know that how the support and control of education shifted from local arrangement of education to complex and centralized control of education. And studying the educational problem from scientific point of view is complemented by historical research in education. When we classify historical research, it has certain subtypes. First is bibliographic research. It aims to determine the different facts related to the life of important educators. Their influence on current educational practices can be done. Next is legal research. It aims to study the legal basis of educational institutions run by various religious and caste-based organizations. There are so many educational institutions which are run by religious institutions and caste-based institutions. So how much they are valid or not? Next type is studying the history of ideas. Major philosophical and scientific thoughts are studied in the light of their origin and various stages of development. It may also study that in due course of time, what changes occurred in the form of various thoughts. Next is studying the history of institutions. Study of the history of institutions also provide numerous problems for historical research in education. Now let us discuss how historical research is conducted. What are the various steps which we need to follow while conducting a historical research? First is selection of the problem. Second is formulation of hypothesis. Third is collection of data. Fourth is criticism of data, and fifth is data interpretation. The fourth step, criticism of data, is the additional step historical research. And the last step is writing of the research report. First is selection of the problem. The problem for historical research may be related to the history of organizations, individuals, laws, ideas, thoughts, curriculum, administration, or any other concept that had impact on the education system during a particular period of time. The historical research yields new knowledge which provide answer to the past events. It also works on old data and gives new interpretation and inferences of existing data and lead to more contented explanation of the past events. The problem selected should not only be of significance from the historical point of view, rather it should be researchable with present research methods and possible availability of the data. Second step is hypothesis framing. It has been debatable in the historical research that it is not necessary that hypotheses are required or not in this type of research, because these are not mandatory, unlike the experimental researches where we study the effect of one variable over the other. It is argued that in historical research, the investigator is interested in exploring the phenomenon, event or conditions of a particular historical period. But when we do research and do not frame hypotheses, findings do not get any base and are not able to explain the structural interrelationship between the phenomenon under study. And such findings which involve unstated hypotheses become ambiguous. Hypotheses in historical research may be just explicit statements that tentatively explain the happening of the events and the phenomenon. The investigator may frame questions and then may seek answers to those questions with the help of the evidences. Next step is collection of data or the evidences. In order to test the hypothesis and to answer the research questions, evidences are collected. Data is collected. And data collection is the most tedious task in historical research. The investigator may locate data from two sources in historical research. First source is primary sources. Primary sources have been called as first witness to a fact. Remains, relics and original documents of that particular period come under the primary sources. They may be classified as remains or relics, personal records of the individuals, official records or the official documents, oral testimony about the events, pictorial evidences and mechanical records. So let us discuss these in little brief. First is remains or relics. Fossils, clothes, utensils, art, materials, skeleton are some the trustworthy primary sources as the investigator himself may examine them personally. Moreover, they directly take the investigator to the past events. Next we said the personal records of the individual. Under this heading we can say autobiographies, diaries, affidavits, letters, books, wills and articles written by the individual at that time. Next is official records or the official documents. Executive documents of the governments such as constitution, rules, laws, court proceedings, minutes of the meeting, reports of the committees, judicial documents, decisions of the court, etc. These may be the official documents of that particular period which help in understanding of the past events as well. Next is oral testimony about the events, folk tales, stories, story narration by the witness of the event, interviews with the administrators and the teachers which they narrate orally about the past. These are also some significant sources. Suppose if you meet a person and he says that he has been a survivor, war survivor in that particular area, that can be an oral testimony about the events. Next is pictorial evidences. These can be the drawings, paintings, coins, sculptures, photographs of that particular historical period. Then next are the mechanical records. These may be the recording of the interviews, meetings and speeches of that particular durations. So after discussing the primary sources, let us go beyond about the secondary sources. The secondary sources are the accounts of the event given by the person who have not himself encountered the event. He might have contact with the eyewitness or some other person of that time. Secondary sources have no direct interaction with the past incident. So the data produced by the secondary sources are under constant danger of distortion and inadequacies. That is why the investigator should always rely on primary sources of data maximum to an extent which is possible. However, in historical researches, it is always a tedious job to collect the data. So the data in historical research is closed class of data. We call it a closed class of data. Every single evidence for data is precious. Even then, all the research requirements may not be fulfilled by the primary sources of data. Therefore, secondary sources are also taken into account to bridge the gap between the various pieces of information given by the primary data. Sometimes primary data is not available, so the investigator is to rely on the secondary sources. After these steps, the collection of data, let us discuss the next step, that is criticism of data. Once the data for historical research is located and identified, then this data is properly evaluated. The data is critically evaluated by following two evaluation process. First is external criticism, then is the internal criticism. External criticism is the process of evaluation related to authenticity of the data. It is all related to establishing the authenticity of the source. It is also called lower criticism. It attempts to check authenticity or genuineness of the source material. It determines the data content in the way that whether it is what it claims to be. The investigator needs to have good common sense, versatile intellect, wise comprehension, and insight about the human behavior. Moreover, the authentication is extended by establishing the age of the document by using carbon dating, chemical analysis of the paint of the ink, and the authorship of the document is done by authentication of the signature, handwriting on the scripts. Next is internal criticism. After establishing the authenticity of the historical data, then internal criticism is done. It relates to establishing the validity of the content of the data. It is related to the credibility and validity of the content of the data. Competence, biases, and general reputation of the author also matters. Characteristics of the traits of the author, qualification, competencies, and time gap between the occurrence of the event and reporting, psychological state of the author at the time of writing, and the document need to be considered while taking into consideration the secondary source. Next step is interpretation of data. Insight, ingenuity, and imagination is required on the part of the investigator as the data interpretation is complicated and has significance in the research process. Use of analogies while interpreting the data must be careful. Then the last step is writing of the research report. Imagination, ingenuineness, and creativity are expected on the part of the researcher. The historical research report must be presented in a chronological, logical, and topical order. Chronological and topical arrangement of historical data and involving influences of economic conditions, social conditions, national culture, art, region, religion, natural resources are also taken into consideration while reporting the historical data. Report should neither be dull or nor it should be so flowery. Rather, it should follow some precision, accuracy, rigorousness, continuity, clarity, and dignity in their style. So friends, now let us sum up. While going through this video, we discussed the meaning and importance of historical research. We also discussed the various types of historical research like bibliographic research, legal research, various steps followed while conducting the historical research. So thank you.